Hello, my dears. How are you today? In this video, I want to talk about two tenses that we almost never use in our daily conversations, but I will also tell you how we express the idea of these tenses without actually conjugating the verbs in these tenses, okay? My name is Andressa Maia and this is Falando Nisso. Okay, the first tense I want to talk about is the future, okay? Or as we call it, futuro do presente. And using the verb to speak as an example, speak in Portuguese is falar. So to conjugate the verb falar in the future, it would be eu falarei, você falará, ele falará, nós falaremos, vocês falarão, eles falarão. But we really don't speak like this. Of course, you will find this in texts, in books, in the news, okay? But I'm talking about the way we speak, I'm talking about our daily conversations, and we almost never conjugate verbs in the future. So how do we express the idea of future without conjugating the verbs? We do exactly the way you do in English, because you have the auxiliary will, and we use the verb to go, ir, okay? Ir is to go in Portuguese. So we use the verb ir as an auxiliary of future, and then our main verb keeps its original form. So, for example, if I want to say I will speak, it in Portuguese will be eu vou falar, okay? The verb ir is an irregular verb, so it completely changes when you conjugate. But even if the verb to go is not an easy verb to conjugate, it is easier to learn how to conjugate the verb to go than to learn how to conjugate all the verbs in the future. So you just have to know how to conjugate the verb ir in the present, because when you make this compound future, you conjugate the verb ir in the present, and then you keep the main verb in its original form. So examples: I will speak with you tomorrow. Eu vou falar com você amanhã, ok? I will speak, eu vou falar. We will eat pizza tonight. We will eat pizza tonight. Nós vamos comer pizza hoje à noite. They will travel next week. They will travel next week. Eles vão viajar na próxima semana, or eles vão viajar semana que vem. Next week can be próxima semana or semana que vem. But what if the main verb of your sentence is the verb to go? Like, they will go to the movies tomorrow. They will go. So in this case, the main verb is to go. So how can you say this in Portuguese? Well, in this case, in Portuguese, you won't have any other verb. You only have the verb ir, which means to go. So you will just conjugate the verb ir. They will go to the movies tomorrow. Eles vão ao cinema amanhã. Okay? Did you understand the idea? I hope so. The second tense I want to talk about is pretérito mais que perfeito. Pretérito mais que perfeito, really, we never use it. You will find this in the Bible. You will find this in very formal texts or in poems, old poems, okay? And maybe in some songs, but it's really not common. We don't conjugate verbs in the pretérito mais que perfeito. But pretérito mais que perfeito is used to talk about something that happened in the past, before some other thing that also happened in the past, and how we express this idea. Exactly the way you do when you use the past participle. So we use the verb ter, ter is to have, as the auxiliary verb, and then we have the main verb in the past participle. Okay, exactly the way you do in English. So, for example, if I want to say, I use the verb falar again, just to explain how to conjugate the verb in the pretérito mais que perfeito, it would be eu falara, você falara, ele falara, nós faláramos, vocês falaram, eles falaram. But really, we don't speak like that. So if I want to say I had spoken, eu falara, would be eu tinha falado. So we have the verb ter in the past, and then we have the main verb falar in the past participle. Eu tinha falado. Okay? Let's see some examples. When I arrived home, he had already called. When I arrived home, he had already called. Quando eu cheguei em casa, ele já tinha ligado. Okay? He had already called. Ele já tinha ligado. Okay? Another example. He was very tired because he hadn't slept well. He was very tired because he hadn't slept well. Ele estava muito cansado porque ele não tinha dormido bem. Okay? So this is the idea. If you have doubts about verb conjugation in Portuguese, I know it can be confusing sometimes because there are a lot of tenses. That's why I've made this video, because if you are studying Portuguese, maybe you can see this pretérito mais que perfeito and you will be like, oh my god, what is this? So don't panic, we really don't use it. You can do exactly the way you do in English, because this is the way we actually speak the pretérito mais que perfeito. But I want to recommend this website. It's called conjugação.com.br. I will leave the link in the description. So if you just learned new verb in Portuguese and you have no idea how to conjugate it, and you don't know if it's a regular verb or irregular verb, you can just type the verb in this and in a space in the site, in this website, and it will show you all the possibilities, all the way you conjugate this verb in all the different tenses. So this is a very useful website. As I said, I'll leave the link here in the description. And well, that's it. I hope you could understand what I was trying to explain. If you have any doubts, you can leave a comment. I always answer all the comments. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.